It is the riot. You guys can't see it, but I'm victorious.
He's stretching as he's introducing.
I always have to stretch before we do the podcast intro because I hunch over while I make it.
Sometimes it makes it into the intro, sometimes it doesn't, but it always happens.
It always happens, but it's especially bad because, and it'll show up in the show today, I went to the gym yesterday and I am stiff.
So it's been a couple of months, but you finally got in a lifting workout. Would that be the right way to say it?
Yeah,
you actually went and lifted?
Lifted weights, and I did a little bit of that at home. Excuse me, coffee. I did a little bit.
Fine.
I'm doing great. Don't you guys worry about me.
No worry.
No, don't you worry. He's going to be all right. But yeah, I got in my first post whatever
Official
in
big
the
one.
gym lifting weights workout. I'm very sore today. But you know what? It's great. Do you know how? Maybe you don't, but as somebody that likes to lift weights, there's a sore that feels good.
Yeah.
It hurts, but you're like, yes.
And this is the one that you missed.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. I'm just like, yeah, good.
We probably had that when you were working at home. It wasn't maybe enough because you don't have the stuff.
It's
so
weird.
It wasn't giving you that thing that you needed, that high.
There's great relief in it, so I've been enjoying that. Can I just say about the podcast today? I know the world is upside down and there's a lot going on. I feel like as broadcasters, it's a hard time to be a broadcaster, especially the kind of broadcasters that Nikki and I are. We are not news people. We're not. We're not.
We don't even play any on the radio.
Yeah, and so it becomes very hard to know what to talk about, what not to talk about, what to believe. There are a lot of reports floating around that just maybe they're true, maybe they're not true. I don't know. And so I don't know. The podcast does not reflect a lot of what's going on in the country right now, just because I still don't feel like I'm in a good place to discuss it. We talked about it on the show a little bit yesterday. And by being in a good place, I feel like there's so much in flux that it's hard to know what exactly is happening. So if you're looking for hard-hitting commentary, it's not in here today.
I think we established that a long time ago.
I know. I'm just telling you. I'll on the one hand,
that was
that's
the same way we felt during the COVID stuff. Going for months and months and months. So.
It is, and I feel dumb telling you that in the podcast today we talk about reheated pizza with everything else that's happening, and yet that's what we did.
Fair.
So we talk about that. What's going on in Denmark? PC part picker. A town.
I think you should have picked that as what you're sad to talk about, not the pizza part.
Well, I can tell you that PC Part Picker making it on the show is a good indicator that we're just kind of looking for stuff to talk about.
Okay. You just want to find anything.
I'm just trying to find something that I can look at and go, now I know that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and probably the most important thing in the show today, squeezable Jeff. So
now we can all agree that you want to hear.
Yes.
Everybody wants to learn about that.
So I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yep. Enjoy the podcast today.
And we will talk to you later.
Don't forget to text and say hello, 877-2-RADIO-U. You can text us anytime. Just put that you're a podcast listener with your name and where you're from, and then we'll get back with you when we're in the studio.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
A couple weeks ago, we pretended to be a shark that eats people.
Well, we played Maneater. It's this game that was new we played on Xbox. But
We ate people. We ate
well that day, right?
We did. Lots of different kinds of fish. A couple of dolphins. Our big shark we took and hunted down a sea lion.
And then
I believe a walrus.
Was it the alligators? Or
yeah. When we got bumped down to the little guy, we started fighting with gators, barely making it. Had a couple gators kill us.
It was tough.
It's tough out there.
A really fun after show.
Being a baby shark is tough. Ask around.
You had to level up and it got a little better.
Yeah. So, all of that being said, we've decided to go in the complete opposite direction.
A little bit more friendlier.
For the after show this week.
Everybody always suggests I need to start playing Animal Crossing.
And you do.
And so this Friday with our after show on our Facebook pages where you guys can just hang out with us, Obi and I are going to set up my Animal Crossing and start playing that.
Yeah, we are. That is going to be the opposite.
I know, the exact opposite, but I think we're going to have a fantastic time. So I want tips. I want tricks. I want whatever options we have that you think might help me set up my town and stuff. Is it my town or is it my house?
Well, you're on the island. Is it your village?
Yeah, village. That sounds good. My space.
I don't remember.
My personal space.
So we'll get that started. Don't text us about the turnip economy. She's too early for turnips.
Just give me basic stuff getting into Animal Crossing.
Right. So
that's going to be Friday for our after show. So if you want to make sure to follow us ahead of time at RadioU or RadioU Riot, it'll be on both Facebook pages, and you can watch us Friday. Just hang out and play there for a bit.
Yeah, it should be a good time. I'm just curious to watch it kind of all unfold. Can't say that I know a whole lot about this new Animal Crossing.
We're going to learn together, aren't we?
That's right.
Okay?
I got a lot of confidence in you, Nikki. I know you can do it.
I need your help, though, so we're going to do it together.
It's going to be nice and relaxing, too. Like, I'm just going to get to sit here and drink coffee and just kind of watch you work.
Should we get some snacks or anything? Or
Well, I mean, far be it from me to suggest we not get snacks.
I wasn't sure. Just put that, to the side, and let's come back to it in case we want to have something on Friday.
That's a great idea. I like how you think.
Grab some coffee maybe first, get a nice drink.
Well, yeah, but I mean, could we find a food fight kind of snack? Is anybody making anything new? Or are we just all on government peanut butter? That's all that's left.
Doesn't have to be anything new either. Could just be some fan favorites.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So Friday we'll be doing a Riot after show where you can hang out while we set up My Animal Crossing, and let's start the problem on Friday.
I'll be looking forward to that.
I can't wait.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Listen, I know there's a lot of concern. A lot of people are feeling a lot of things, but I want you to know, guys, that as far as Nikki's concerned, there's a bright, shining light on the horizon, and it's not the sun.
No, it's not. I don't like that one.
It's better than the sun. It's the true hope of the dawn of a new day in the Republic. What is it, Nikki?
Costco samples are coming back.
They're bringing back free samples at Costco.
That was lunch for a lot of days.
There's hope, guys. We're going to make it.
You can't get in easily most times, or
we're going to make it.
But you'll at least be able to get in and get some samples.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Possibly later this month.
So they're saying mid-June.
Yeah, so mid this month
is the target for bringing back samples. Okay, so about that. They're going to do samples, but I have to wear a mask. So am I going to be allowed to, do I move my mask up a little bit? And
that is a good question. I'm not sure how that's going to look. I'm not sure. Will they still be requiring masks that time in a few weeks? Don't know.
That's a good question.
Don't know if that'll go away eventually or what.
Well, you figure at some point they'll allow us to go into Costco without a mask on, right?
Probably.
Probably, maybe.
So basically,
I haven't been to Costco in a bajillion years.
I haven't been since early March.
When's the last time you sent Eric?
He hasn't been there maybe a month.
I feel like you had Eric walking around Costco with it.
He was the risking one.
He was FaceTiming and he had the phone on a gimbal so you could experience what it was like to walk around.
No, and I miss it because I don't know what are the fun new things, and that used to be my really fun time of just wandering around Costco, see the new stuff.
Nikki's Costco is her mall.
Yes, it is.
It is. Some people go to the mall or whatever.
The food court.
Yeah.
You had it all.
Costco was Nikki's mall.
You're saying that like I'd be ashamed. I'm not. I'm actually not ashamed of that.
Did I say you should be ashamed?
I just want to make sure everybody realizes there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
It's fine. You like Costco. It's your mall. They're bringing back the little samples that give you the strength you need
to make it
around the store.
So I'm not sure how it's going to look like. Basically, food being left out has been the question. So think buffets. So I think Vegas opens up later this week or first of next week.
Yes.
So for some buffets, what they're doing is, and I only say that because Vegas is the home of buffets.
That's where buffets live.
So that's how they're it trickles down to all the other restaurants on how they're going to do it is the instead of going up to a place to get food from yourself, they take it to your tables. So they'll take the crab legs table around and you can just ask for items.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how it's going to look like when it comes to samples, if they can leave a tray out that everybody can reach to. I'm not sure.
No, my guess is they'll have a new protocol.
Like
where it's
they'll hand you, or I don't know, they're not saying like it'll look probably different than before, but we're not just going to get the tray left out that everybody can just swarm up to. It'll have to be done a different way.
My guess is like for each one that you want, you probably have to get a COVID-19 test on the site. So like they swab your brain.
Probably
they run
not.
The test.
I don't know if I've read that. That might just be
You think that's
a rumor.
Okay, all
I
right.
don't think that's it.
All right, if you say so. Sure. Just seems like probably the most efficient way to do it.
So it'll take a little bit of time. And people swarm the sample stations. We're not going to be able to do that anymore.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. Everybody just waits and pounces.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be dots on the floor of like where you should stand.
Oh, animals. And yet everybody's like, well, I'll take a sample.
Yesterday I was going in someplace and you had to stand on the dots.
Yeah.
And this other lady comes in on the other side, doesn't see the dots. So she just keeps walking in and ditches in front of me.
Oh.
And so I was just like, hey, I don't confront those. So I was just like, and I just gave her kind of like a look of like, and so she just waved at me thinking my look was.
Oh, you were being kind.
She got in front of me. It's like, didn't you see the dots? We're supposed to wait on the dots. You left your dot. Get on your dot.
Excuse me, miss.
And then she got in front of the person's face. I was like, get back. You're not supposed to.
Everything you're doing is wrong.
Oh, so yeah, if you're a fan of Costco samples, that'll be in a few weeks, they say.
And that's Nikki. She just wants to be happy. And Costco has heard
One
her
more
cries.
step back, right?
Yeah.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
It is the season of restarting things, and it looks like Mission Impossible 7 is about to get its restart, Nikki, in September.
You mean going back to filming?
Yeah. So they're going to start.
Weren't they filming 2 at the same time?
Yeah, they were doing supposed to be 7 and 8.
Yeah, okay.
So they're saying that in September they'll be basically resuming their schedule. The majority of what they have to do, they'll shoot in the UK on the back lot and in the studio. But they said that there's still a couple of countries that they have left that they're supposed to visit.
They had been in Italy starting at the earlier part of the stay-at-home stuff and with what Italy went through, and so they stopped there.
And, okay, remember hearing that, like, stuff in Italy was stopping, and you were like, what are you doing? Like, why are you, like, big deal, whatever. Back then, when we were stupid. And we were
just didn't know, and no one knew.
Well, we didn't know, but it was just that thing, like before the news had like really spread and you really understood it, and they were saying they were stopping filming, and I remember thinking like, oh, come on, guys, like, what are you stopping filming for? Because I didn't get it.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it now.
So they're supposed to do the 2 movies, though. I mean, Tom Cruise is getting older, so I'm wondering if that's going to be his last 2.
Oh, no, Nikki.
Well, if you think about, you fast forward enough time of those 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Where's that going to leave him at?
Hip transplant, get back at it.
Maybe. And then he's doing the space movie where he's going,
supposedly actually into space. Yeah.
So what if we don't get any more from him?
Nikki, Tom Cruise is immortal.
At least in the Mission Impossible world franchise.
He marries 27-year-olds, sucks their youth, and then he lives...
He just keeps going.
Longer. That's how that works. So I'm sure they're lining up his next fountain of youth.
Well, I just wondered in the 7th or 8th one, will you start seeing a newer character who's the younger one?
That's what I thought Henry Cavill was going to be.
But it didn't work. I mean, no.
Obviously not.
Obviously not, but who will be that one?
I don't have the answer for that.
And I don't think Simon Pegg, as much as I love his character, like he can't transition over to the main one, but he's fantastic.
He's like as old as Tom Cruise.
He's older too, yeah.
Like he's older than you think he is. So I don't know, Nikki. You know what? Maybe it's your turn. After your trip to Costco, you head on over to the Mission Impossible 9 set.
No.
And you're the new secret agent.
They went in a really different direction then.
Well,
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on RadioU.
First off, I just want to start by reminding everybody that Jif peanut butter is the only legitimate peanut butter, and all other peanut butters are trash.
So that's the one you do like?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, people come in like with Skippy or Peter Pan or Reese's or whatever. And I'll just tell you, that is right on out. Keep it.
So what about with almond butter? Do you also have to have it?
Well, with almond butter, it's so dang expensive.
It's whatever's cheaper.
With almond butter, I buy the kind that you get at Costco.
Just because.
Because Jif almond butter is like $100 for 2 ounces. Now, I'll tell you, it's the best. It's infinitely spreadable. It's delicious.
But you just can't afford it.
Who can possibly afford to get Jif almond butter? I don't know anybody like that.
But,
they're currently on their super yacht.
But you can afford the peanut butter.
Yes, I can. Maybe. You see, Nikki, Jif has just announced the peanut butter squeeze bottle.
Ooh.
And it's not even like a bottle. It's like a
It stands
toothpaste.
up. I've seen sour cream come in this thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And so you just go ahead and you squeeze the peanut butter out.
Now that with this packaging, you know it'll be so much more.
Yeah, well, Nikki, they've spent years in the lab trying to innovate on peanut butter packaging. So, of course, they're going to have to put some of the cost of that innovation and those years in the lab, it's going to show up in the purchase price.
Do you think you'll like the squeezable tube, or do you like it to be in the normal peanut butter thing?
No.
I'll
tell you, I need the jar for multiple reasons. Number one, I need quantity. Like when I buy peanut butter, I don't buy a little jar, a medium jar. I'm buying the 2-pack of the big jars. See earlier comments about Costco.
He likes peanut butter on his toast like every day.
I eat a lot of peanut butter, okay? I'm not ashamed. I am a little large. I'm sure the peanut butter contributes, but whatever.
Not
okay?
the toast and the peanut butter, no.
It's not that.
It's a protein.
It's fine. So there's that. I can't make the peanut butter any more portable or accessible. That's a bad idea. Can't do that, guys.
Well, they were saying you could just squeeze it right into your mouth. Look at that.
Well, since I was a kid, I don't remember at what point it was, but at some point, my dad taught me that you can just eat peanut butter with a spoon if you wanted. And my dad would do that all the time. He would just get a big spoon of peanut butter and just kind of eat peanut butter.
Well, Dakota texted, said I'm allergic to peanuts, so I have to buy sunflower butter. It's like $5 a jar.
Sunflower butter?
Yeah, it's an alternative.
What is that?
From sunflowers.
Sure.
From sunflower nuts. You just make that into nut butter, but non-nut.
Keith says that Jif is so spreadable because it's made with a not small portion of hydrogenated vegetable oil, i.e. shortening. And you know what?
Fine with that.
That's why it's so good.
I don't know, Keith, if you were saying that to get him to be like, oh, I can't believe I'm having this or not.
Yeah,
He's happy with it. He doesn't mind.
Telling me that because I'm not going to like it because I love it. I do. I have mostly switched to almond butter-ish. Like in the morning, I have almond butter here at the studio. So if I'm having toast, it's with almond butter.
But when you're home?
I will tell you, sometimes at night, this is one of the best snacks ever. You get some peanut butter with a graham cracker. You just put peanut butter right there on the graham cracker.
Light layer, heavy hand, or what?
You know what? I don't see amounts when it comes to peanut butter.
Just spread it.
Just whatever you can.
What about some marshmallow stuff, too?
Oh, yeah, and then we could just put chocolate on top of that.
Nutella? You just make all 3 layers?
Perfect.
And then top it with another graham cracker.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, my gosh.
And then with a nice, what do you call it, like whole milk.
Oh, gosh. Why am I not losing weight?
Eat a couple of those and go straight to bed.
It'd be on your stomach the whole night.
It's perfect.
Oh, you'd never get up.
It's perfect. In the meantime, Jif introduces squeezable peanut butter.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Yesterday, I did it. I went back to the gym. Yes.
Do you feel better?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just sore and tired because it's been forever.
But you'd been saying that during the COVID stuff and the stay-at-home stuff, a lot of people worked out at home, but then a lot of us also did not work out at home.
Man, I tried. It's not like I didn't work out at all.
But it just wasn't your same thing.
No, and I think for me, like the weights at home, like it just didn't. It was not working.
You need
very
the gym.
Well. Yeah. Like there's something mentally about going to the gym that was way more accessible to me than working out at home. Now, I've been running a few times a week, but just like 2 miles at a time. So, nothing too intense or anything. But back in the gym yesterday, and it was great. Went in, they had on the door, like I had already been in there because I went in to sign up because I've, quasi-changed gyms. Now I have 2 gyms.
Well, that's the best.
Which
You're going to want to watch that.
At some point, I'll go back down to 1, but for the next 2 months,
it'll be fine.
It'll be 2 gyms because of a contract. So, you know what? They had a big thing at the door that was like, hey, here's what we want you to do. I stopped, read through their things, walked in, signed in. They had you go around. Now, this was a YMCA. So they gave everybody their own spray bottle and towel.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so you took your towel and spray bottle around the entire time with the idea that you would spray the equipment down before you used it and after you used it. I did not realize I was supposed to do before and after, so I had just been doing before and leaving it.
You ruined it.
I'm kidding. I was doing...
You did it wrong.
I wasn't doing before, I was just doing after.
Sure.
So when I finally got to the last thing in my routine and saw, you should spray down before and after, and I was like, oh!
Go back.
Whoops.
Is it the same spray? Because when I was somewhere yesterday, and they would spray every time you got up. They would spray it down.
Okay.
But it wasn't one that you would wipe. It would just...
Oh, you just left it there?
It just left there, and then someone else could sit there then.
No,
I didn't know if it was the same gym spray as before, and so you actually are wiping it down.
I was wiping it down. I hope I was doing it right. That I did find myself multiple times just like, and I was getting a weight off the bottom rack, and I realized that I put my hand on another weight, and I was like steadying myself, and I pulled the weight up, and then I was like, oh, I probably wasn't supposed to touch that other thing. My bad.
Well, let's think of this as extra workout.
I guess. It's just weird. But nobody was wearing a mask except for the employees. They were. But people that were working out, no masks. And I mean, they had asked, it was like voluntary that, hey, maybe you wear a mask in between sets, but no one was
doing it.
They had a maximum capacity of, I think, 30 or 35, but I counted and there were 8 people in there.
Working out?
Yeah, so not a huge crowd.
Well, I don't know I haven't heard a lot of people just like running to go back to the gym.
Right. Well, I haven't either. I found one of my friends on Twitter who also went back to the gym yesterday. But other than that,
people are just kind of waiting and seeing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was thrilled to be back in the gym. It was great. And I mean, when I say thrilled,
we get what you mean.
Grain of salt here,
Not thrilled to work out, but you were excited to be able to do it there.
Yeah, it felt good, and I mean, I've gotten weak, and I'm sore, and whatever. I'm moaning while I stand up and sit down, but that's good.
That's what you're supposed to get.
I'm glad to be back to that. That feels good. I'm glad.
Better that than the overeating during the quarantine time, and then us also moaning and complaining and being sore from that.
Yeah, right now I think I'm embracing both. But then eventually I'll try to whittle one
get
away.
Better.
We'll see.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
The people at Domino's Pizza in Australia, so it would be, a real workout to get down there. They've put out a guide for what they say is the best way to reheat your leftovers.
Ooh, what did they say?
It's not bad, actually. This genuinely blows my mind because we all know that if you microwave pizza, you've killed it.
That actually isn't the best way to reheat pizza. It's probably the most convenient, but there's better ways.
Yeah, but they have a microwaving pizza hack that they say will keep the crust crispy.
In the microwave?
And not soggy, yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, you put a half a glass of water in there with the slice of pizza. Microwave it for 45 seconds. And that they say that the water takes care of the soggy, weird, moist pizza. It doesn't happen.
Anybody have any leftover pizza in their house right now?
It's enough to make me want to try.
I know. Can you pop it in and just let us know?
See what you think right there.
I used to use the air fryer, instead of the oven.
Oh, dude.
If you have an air fryer warming up pizza, it makes it better than when you got it the first time.
It's so good in an air fryer.
Now, Marka just texted, said, I do that at work. So, Marka, you put in the water when you're actually reheating it, and that's what works?
Blows my mind right there. Huh. They say a waffle iron. will do that. Like you just take a piece of pizza and put it in a waffle iron, shut the waffle iron, and it just heats it up.
Heats it up that way too.
So it's really good.
All
and
right.
then my go-to / standbys have always been you take it and then you put it in the oven, or you can put it in a frying pan.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forget people do that.
So that's actually a pretty good way to go ahead and reheat pizza. But I'm fascinated by the water in the microwave thing. And I mean, as Nikki said, if you have one, Nikki and I both have air fryers because we care about how we eat our vegetables.
We do. Actually, it's better if you don't like vegetables. If you air fry them a little bit, they're actually not bad.
It actually is better. It's true.
Now, there also is one more way. You just buy new pizza. So just don't have to reheat.
Nikki!
What? Is that not an option?
No, you get your old pizza out and eat it.
Okay.
I mean, depending on how old your pizza is.
Maybe you didn't have any leftovers to begin with, though.
So, well, if you don't have leftovers, you have to have firstovers.
You got to start over. Or you got to be ordering more pizza the first time.
And then you go ahead and you have a leftover. So you order too much.
Well, I know a lot of people who do order extra pizza, so then you have leftovers. You do over there, hand raised.
I absolutely do. I always order, because the other thing that they say about pizza is that the price per square inch is cheaper the larger the pizza
that
get.
you go. Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Like, there's a local place I get pizza from all the time. They have an extra large. I get that. It's $2 more, but it's at least another meal, if not like a meal and a snack.
Saving money.
Free snacks.
Reheating pizza properly so you're eating it. You're using up leftovers. We're new people here.
The whole buffalo, Nikki.
I mean, yes.
Nothing goes to waste.
I mean, you're just being
Except for the
smart
box.
about it. Yeah, no, we can repurpose that somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I just put it in the recycling bin.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Sure. It's great.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
How many times do you sit down and pull up a video and somebody shot it vertically? And you're just like, oh my gosh.
Is that the worst? Is that where we're at?
Actually, it gets worse. When somebody hands you vertically shot video that you're supposed to integrate with a bunch of other video, and you're like, oh, yeah, well, this just magically happens.
It's seamless. But sometimes in the heat of the moment for viral videos, you don't think about it.
Yeah, but some people should know better. Most of us should know better. So the people at Samsung are basically saying, hey, you know what? Instead of being all snotty with people about forgetting to turn their phones so you get a legit widescreen image, what if we just changed our TVs?
That'll do it.
And so they have introduced the Sero, S-E-R-O. It is a phone, or it is a TV that stands vertically, and then when you're done watching all your cell phone video on it,
and you flip it,
it actually flips so that it's, widescreen like a standard TV.
Guess what part of the TV is going to break first?
The screen?
No, the switching part.
No, that's ridiculous. I am sure that they've got a bezel that's going to be perfect.
Right. Because we're really gentle on everything.
Oh, yeah. You just take, you can't spin that thing like it's the wheel on Price is Right.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Just gently
this
turn
way,
it.
They're saying if you want to mostly watch TikTok, that's really what this is for. So if you want to watch TikTok or a lot of Instagram, then you can watch the content that way, and then flip it if you want to watch normal stuff. Not normal, that's the wrong word to use. The other way.
Different.
Different.
Other.
It's all fine.
It's fine. It's fine. You shoot your video however you want. Just don't give it to me expecting me to...
Can you hang this, though? Because it's kind of ugly on the stand.
Oh, you know what, Nikki? Ugly is another judgmental word.
No, it is.
What?
It
because
is. It looks
you're telling
like
me its body is a little different, so it doesn't conform to standard
it looks
beauty.
like a stand-up mirror sort of thing, or like a presentation in a corporate meeting.
It's nice. And then look how stupid the stand looks when you do turn it vertically or horizontally.
That's what it does look like in mirror.
It looks really dumb. It looks like it's 2004 and your friend just got a huge 37-inch TV. Wow, look how big it is.
I wish we were in with Samsung when they went and product tested this
And
thing.
it's got to sit on this big old stand it's actually small.
That's what we love.
Compared to my grandparents' console TV from 1954, this TV is tiny. Oh, and look, it's only 12 inches thick.
It's only $2,000. I feel like, because then if I put it on mine's above, like I have a fireplace, you can't flip it down.
No, that's not going to work.
Can't flip it down into the fire or just the mantle.
I don't think this is
I have
designed.
to have it on the stand?
Yeah, actually, Nikki, this is perfect for you. That's all you do at night is lay in bed and watch TikTok. You just put this over to the side of the bed and you just lay on your side.
Hold it up.
And you don't even have to. You can it's got a stand. You just set it next to your bed. You watch a few hours of TikTok, then you go to bed.
I don't know if this is what I was looking for.
Then you get up early in the morning, you trip over it, you break the stand.
You break the part that moves it.
That's right.
And that's all you've got left.
And now you're just stuck with a regular TV that you have to
Has
watch
a
vertical video
bad-looking
on. Yeah,
stand.
it's great. It's perfect.
I don't think the Cero is what I'm looking for.
You don't think it's for you?
No.
The other thing about it is
But I get
looked
what
around.
they're trying to accomplish with it.
I can't get a price on it.
It's $2,000.
Oh, yeah, it's right in the headline. It says it right there. The $2,000. Why can't I get that? It's fine. It's right there.
I just like you're like, I can't see it. Where is it? It's right there.
It's not actually the price what I meant. What I wanted to know is like how big it is.
They'll probably come in different sizes.
I don't think so.
The one.
Just the one.
I love how you are.
What are you looking at?
I just love how you are. You were so like, where is it?
It's right there. I got it.
Right there in front. All right.
What are you looking at, butthead? Say hi to your mom for me. That's where I'm at. That's how smart I really am.
This is
nice.
something. So thank you.
Good.
Thank you for sending that out.
$2,000 vertical video viewer. You can get monitors like this too.
Well, technically, my phone is almost a $2,000.
What are we saying? You're right.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I get that, like, it's not funny, but I couldn't help but laugh because Nikki and I yesterday were waiting on someone to say this. It's like, where is this comment? And it didn't get made, and it didn't get made. And finally, yesterday, somebody at NBC News made sure that they got up and reported. So it wasn't them. It was the mayor of Atlanta got out there and said, hey, listening, if you were out protesting last night, you probably better get a COVID test this week.
Why is that not being said more? Why is that not being said to people that they then suggest go out and protest?
Nikki,
do we not remember what we've just been going through?
Nikki, here's the thing. When you've got a lot of people that are angry about something, whatever that is, and you're like, why don't you guys just stay home and forget all this? It doesn't work that way. And you and I know what this is like. Do you know how when somebody tells you to do something?
You then do the opposite.
Right.
But this is a serious thing.
Well, they would say that this is more serious. That protesting the death of George Floyd is more serious than, the COVID-19 social distancing stuff. And so finally, the thing that Nikki and I off air had been wondering is like, okay, we've spent 3 months like making a big deal out of not gathering together.
Well, and
so there've been
you're
these
not
massive,
allowed to. Yeah.
There've been these massive gatherings. So what does it look like? And there you go. The mayor of Atlanta is out there saying, just a heads up. I
just was surprised that when people who were saying, if you want to peacefully protest, wasn't it said more of just remember this is the serious thing a lot of people are still very concerned about, maybe distance even more or do this or do that or just know the risk if you're going to go out.
Well, I would say that last option is exactly what people said. They said, you know what, like I don't care enough about let me say this a different way. The risk is worth it. Like I care more about the thing I'm protesting for than about the potential of catching COVID-19. So, and
it's not just the potential of catching it, but then spreading it.
Right. Well, all of
that goes with it.
All of that kind of rolls into that. So,
no one really wants that test. That test does not look good. So.
No, Nikki, I was told by Governor Cuomo to stop being. He didn't say it in these words, but I feel like he basically said to quit being a baby about it and go ahead and let him jam the thing up your nose.
If you were out, yeah, you should. And then you're supposed to also, wouldn't you have to isolate again?
Okay, I don't know about that because that's something
for the days that you wait for the test results back.
Yes, on that. That is true. But I think because like back in the day, 3 months ago, if you had symptoms, you weren't supposed to come out for like 14 days. But I assume that if you have the test, you isolate while you wait on the test, and if it comes back negative, like you're good to go.
Lots of different people. Some the test is like next day back, and some it takes a long time. It depends on where you get it done at.
Yeah, like my stepdad had to have one. He had his results in like 36 hours. One of my mom's neighbors had to have it done, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll see you." What do you do on March of 21?
Oh, and it's still a long time to wait to find out.
Still waiting to find out.
Well, it's something that people really need to realize.
Yeah. So it's out there. I wondered if anybody was going to bring it up. The first person I saw do it, Mayor of Atlanta.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Off air, Nick, the news guy, and I have been chatting. It's like a long story how we got here, but I was telling him about this place I used to work. We had a district manager that would call people friend.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it.
Oh, because
I just wanted to be like, you know what? If I was your friend, you'd know my name, wouldn't you? Okay.
Oh, instead of knowing your name, yeah. I gotcha.
You'd be like, hey, friend, could you come and clean this up over here? And it was just like, as a friend, I'm free to say no. I can't come over and do that. Call me by my name,
Learn the name.
You corporate lackey. You know I'm just an indentured servant to you. I'm nothing. All you see is my smock.
Now, you didn't say that. So.
No, I just did what I was told for my pathetically low rate of pay. My whole life, I'm just like, you know what? You guys are paying me too much. Could you cut a little bit off the top?
Well, he was your friend. That's why he was giving you so much.
Let's do it for friends. I think when we talk about God, don't you guys feel like that's how we're going to end up? Like, God loves you, but like loves is in like, you do the little finger quotation marks. And God's like, hey, friend, can I boss you around a little bit? Can you get over here and clean up this mess for me? Thanks, friend. And you just turn into another nameless number that gets referred to as friend. And God's really full of crap, just like every other corporate whatever. Management, who do they think they are?
Easy there.
Sorry. But you know what I mean, right? And I understand why people would think and feel that way. This is the part I don't understand. I don't understand how God, being as big as he is, that God and I can be on like a first name basis and that he treats me like family. He has like adopted me and said, hey, Obadiah, you're my son. I'm your dad. We're family. And I don't even understand how that can be. That he can have a relationship like that with me and with you and with Nikki and with that guy that used to call me friend all the time and whatever, all these different people, and it not be just some big corporate lie used by the government to keep you in line. I don't know. But it's not like that. The relationship I have with God is, I don't know, it's odd, right? That he could love you so much and be an actual friend to you and call you by your name. That's the experience that I have with God, that it is not corporate. It's the complete opposite of that. Listen, you should get to know Jesus for who he actually is, what he was really about, because I think you would be surprised what God is really like versus what you might be thinking that he's like. You've had bad experiences with authority. God's not like that. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit, and I want you to show me a different way to live. And God has a better way of doing things. Seriously.
Worst of the riot. RadioU.
You might be thinking that roller coasters are over. Hashtag roller coasters over party on Twitter, right? Well, guess what? You're wrong. Denmark is out there, Nikki, and Denmark is taking the summer back.
Is this the place where last week we posted on our RadioU Riot Facebook page the teddy bear roller coaster ride?
No.
Wasn't that Denmark? Maybe.
I don't. You know what, Nikki? I'm going to tell you the truth.
You don't remember?
Once you get into like that middle part of Europe where the countries are all small, like
it just all blends in.
I don't know.
Okay, I mean,
pretty much you get past Germany, and I'm just like, yeah, all those people, they're great.
Good. Okay.
So, and I'm sorry.
Oh, that's in Holland.
See, yeah.
There it is.
Obviously, it's not the same. Denmark, they're like, yeah, we're totally opening roller coasters, and here's what we're gonna do. We could have one family at a time on the roller coaster.
You'll never get through the line.
Ever. Today,
I know, and I also don't normally go with my whole family, so it's like me and, say, Eric, so...
That's it.
That's it?
That's your party.
Oh, my gosh. There's no hope.
They'll load you guys up.
Isn't it fast enough to where, the germs, it couldn't possibly?
No, because remember, that's part of the thing. Like, if you're...
And it's not the ride, it's the weight.
Screaming. No, so you're spewing potential corona?
It's not the ride, though. I feel like the part we have to realize is the waiting in line to get to the ride, too. That would be the most risk.
You distance people out, and it's fine.
Forget it. You'll never get on anything.
Paint little circles on the ground.
They'd have to open up the park for like 20 people to make this work, and then that's not enough to make money.
It's 28 people.
28.
Thank you.
Thank you. This does not give me hope for that.
If you're just going to come with that negativity, you're right. We're never going to have any roller coaster fun.
No, you'd get to the park at like 6 a.m. and then you'll finally get on sometime after dinner.
So it's like Disney.
Well, actually, yeah, that is true.
So it's no different.
Unless you pay money and they'll let you on early. I see it more like a scheduling system. Like you have to sign up for your specific time.
Listen, straight up, like I think it's great that business owners are out there trying to figure out how to make things work.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. I can also tell you that if you're telling me that I can come to your amusement park and we can get on the roller coaster like one at a time, basically, I'm just going to go ahead and stay home this year, and I'll catch you next year.
We'll go next season.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not very practical unless you're a roller coaster enthusiast and you don't have anything else, like that's your summer plan.
That's all you got.
Then it could be fun to be experiencing the roller coaster ride. Alone or just within your friends and family.
Oh, did anybody else feel Nikki's corporate?
No, like that's the only positive spin I can put on this.
Stop. Everybody stop. All right. I don't want to hear more negativity. I want us to start thinking about, give me 5 ways riding a roller coaster alone is a positive experience. Go. Come on.
There it is.
This is what we pay you people for.
With the video, like I mentioned earlier, the one from Holland where they were testing the roller coaster, they put all these teddy bears in it.
Yes.
Maybe they could put other things in the car seat so it doesn't seem like you're the only one.
It's all teddy
going
bears.
on the ride.
But then you guys are hacking and coughing on the teddy bears.
Never mind.
So now they got to distance you from the teddy bears.
Let's see what Disney does. Disney's opening in July, and they have roller coasters. So they're still going to do stuff?
I don't know. Well, at the gym yesterday, they had spaced out all of the cardio machines, and then they had certain of them that were just shut down.
Yeah.
Where it just said on there, like, this is for
on the ride,
social
it would be so many spaces, and then, you have to wait longer, but...
Well, the thing is with the roller coaster, remember the disease plume that we looked at with the running? You remember that?
Yes, yeah.
So it's like a roller coaster. You're like, ah! You're yelling, and you're disease pluming, and you're shoving people through your plume at high speed. Tweet that.
I don't think we're able to handle going. Is that really what you're going to do? Gosh. Never mind. We're not going.
You guys should laugh at yourself more often.
We're not going to go to anything.
The Riot. It's a big inside joke. I'm so glad I get to listen. Next.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
If you're a nerd, you already know this, but I'm going to throw this out there because this might be something that is of interest to you normies. I don't know. And that is, there's this website called PCPartPicker.com. And what you can do is...
I'm going to it.
Okay. You can go on there and you can, like, virtual build your own computer.
Oh, this is something.
Okay, now I realize this, whatever, but like...
So you're just picking and then do you offer a price or...
No. It goes through and it gets you the best price on each thing, and then you just buy them from all the different websites that it finds them at.
Ah, so it's like a hub for it?
Right, and then you get the absolute best price. And let's say you want to, just get an idea as to how much something costs and what you'll need. It's like everything.
Good.
In one spot. And so,
Are you there right now?
Yeah, I told you yesterday that I had a friend of mine that was like, hey, can you help me put together a computer? And I tried very hard. I'm like, you just turn around, kid. Just get back on your bicycle, get out of here, and go back to the nice neighborhood where you came from.
You don't want him to just instead of console gaming, which is you get what you get, but here you can really go all out.
Go get your X stations and your play boxes, and don't come back here no more. You don't want to live on this street, kid. But he came back anyway. He was like, I really want to be a part of what you're doing.
Ooh, there's feature builds. You could try to do that.
That's right. You can see other people's builds. So like Nikki, maybe this is what we should do instead of Animal Crossing.
Oh,
We'll live stream us doing our own fantasy builds, and then we'll unveil them and we'll compare them. Like, hey, this is the computer that I got. This is the computer you got. Which one? Oh, you went with an AMD. What? That's amazing.
Normally I want to be encouraging.
Yeah.
And I like this side of you. We are glad that you have a hobby. And PC building, I think, falls in there. But I don't know if that sounds fun for everybody.
Why not?
Well, it can be. Now, again, it's great if you like this sort of thing, but it seems a bit boring if you don't like it.
Well, see, I'm throwing this out there. I said for the normies. Mm-hmm. This is for people like, even normies need computers, Nikki. And if you want to save some money instead of just buying and...
I'll buy what they sell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, then that's all there is to it.
That's all there is. I just can't. But it's nice you have a website that'll help with it.
There it is. If you want it, you can log in.
I didn't know you're a picker.
I typically just go to Micro Center and I'm like, whatever you have.
I'll buy it that way.
Just whatever. But there it is. It's there. So listen, some of you guys are really bored. You're not fooling me. I know what's going on.
So we're just going to look anywhere?
Yeah. You just do anything. Man, I've read so many articles where I get done and I'm like, what am I doing? And then you just click the next one.
Keep going.
You just keep going.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. RadioU.
Well, Hudson found a Band-Aid inside a crab rangoon.
We did, yeah. Hudson last week had an unfortunate incident where he was eating and he found a Band-Aid. If you have crab rangoon, it's like the cream cheese inside part. Mm-hmm. Thought it was like extra crab, which who would get that? It's normally just rangoon, but we think there's crab in it.
They just say that.
But it's
Something
not.
You say. It's crab seasoning.
Yes, but it's not like actual.
Right.
And he found out when he took it out of his mouth that it was a Band-Aid from someone else.
Mm-hmm. So, Nikki, I may have the answer that we're searching for, and that is a robot in the kitchen. Think about it.
He doesn't need a Band-Aid.
Think about it. No Band-Aids. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like you might find, and here's another thing, like, okay, let's say your crab rangoon is prepared by a robot. Maybe you find a wire in there.
Or, no, there was that one time I remember someone in an ice cream or yogurt thing found like a bolt or something. So that would be about it.
You know what? You'd just be like...
You would notice it.
You'd notice, but... if you think about this, would you rather find a Band-Aid or a screw?
I'd find a screw. I'd be better with that.
The screw, you just like brush it off. Whatever, it's fine. With the Band-Aid, you're like, I was licking somebody's wound. Yay.
A stranger's
wound. Just some person I found on the street that I was licking, chewing, sucking on the bandage.
What if it had Neosporin on it? What if it was something?
I'd take a rusty old nail any day.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So?
Especially if it was a newer robot, the chance of it falling apart would be really slim.
And we've got a year or two before the robot starts dropping bolts in the rangoon.
Well, that wasn't even a robot that dropped the bolt. It was just a machine.
Right.
So I'm sure this thing would be better.
Well, this is I'm looking at University of Cambridge. They've put together an egg-making robot. Now, it's not a Rangoon, and I get that.
Gotta
but
start with something.
You have to start somewhere.
I feel bad because the more they talk about robots assembling or just being in the kitchen, that means people are losing their jobs, but I don't want the Band-Aid thing to happen to me. I don't want that.
I didn't say it was a perfect solution.
No.
I didn't say it was perfect. Obviously, there's a lot of things to consider before we make robot Rangoon makers.
Maybe instead of you making the food, you could manage the robot that actually does the food part itself, does the handling of it.
Yeah, but could you keep your Band-Aid hand off of the robot, please? Could you do that?
I just really don't want that
we
to
just
happen.
don't want to find.
Oh, no.
That'd be great.
Now, Andrea said, how often are they going to clean the robots? I feel like the hands get washed more. Think about how filthy the drink dispensers are because they never clean those. So what about cleaning the robots?
Yeah, but it's going to be filthy with Rangoon filth.
That's not filth. I mean, that's delicious.
Well,
but the robot could be programmed to wash its own hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Be fine.
It dunks.
It dunks right on in and fixes it.
Yeah. I don't know. So Andrea says she'd still rather find a bolt. Yes, I would.
We found our line. It's a Band-Aid. We don't want a Band-Aid.
It's the Band-Aid. It's the... I mean, people's
No,
dirty...
it's actually the wound part that is the most disturbing about it.
You know that people are sticking their dirty hands in your food, but you pretend it's not real. And then you find a Band-Aid, and it tells you, one, just how bad that hand is, and two, you're licking it.
What was the wound, though?
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Listen, you got to stop looking at your phone. Well, who do you think you are to tell me? I'm not telling you. This is
this
what
town is.
This is what the city councilors in Yamato, Japan.
They seem to be the first city, at least in Japan, that are looking at a vote this month to possibly keep you from walking and looking at your phone and making that to be a banned activity.
They want to essentially, and I don't know exactly how you would enforce it, but they want to make it illegal for you to walk and look at your phone at the same time.
And I think it depends on your area, though, because like in Japan, a lot of times you have a lot of walking to do to get to your train station.
Sure.
So they're trying to curb what they see is the source of a lot of injuries lately from people not watching what they're doing.
So here's what they say. They say that they went out and basically did a study in their town where they observed 6,000 people. They said of those 6,000, 12% of them were just staring at their phones.
While they were walking?
Yeah. And they say, as Nikki had just stated, that injuries are going up because people are running into things, being hit by cars, et cetera, because they're looking at their phones. So
like that wouldn't work for us because, I mean, our walk is from here to the car. And I can see my car out there. Like it's not, we don't walk a lot.
I will say that I definitely had this morning. I had a guy like driving in. He was all over the road.
Oh, really?
And
From his phone?
I'm on the freeway, and he it just started happening. He starts wandering in and out of lanes, like he's all over, and I'm just like, this guy has to be. He's either asleep or on his phone, and it's got to be the phone, because the thing I notice if people are asleep, and I see this in the morning, is that you'll see them start to wander, and then they jerk back.
Yeah.
But when people are on their phone, they're all over the place, and there's no jerk ever.
And it's light enough for us now, but normally in the winter when it's darker out in the morning when we come into work, you can see the glow from the phone.
You can. You absolutely
and you can totally
can.
tell because they're normally almost into the, the side of the road. They're off the lane.
So I don't normally get involved in anything like that, but me and a lot of other people got in the other lane to get past him.
Yeah, you can just tell.
I honked at him.
Did you?
And he had his phone out and he was driving with one hand and just staring at his phone. I was like, what? Like, he's not even pretending. Like, he's not even trying to hide it.
Passing, he's doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, all right.
He didn't have the decency to hide it?
Hide it. Pretend.
So this is, again, for Yamato in Japan.
Yeah.
And they will vote on it, but they don't want people to use their phones anymore while they're walking.
Yeah. Boy, they're going to get you. They're going to be out there. Dude, I just love the idea of somebody walking by. And they're not doing this, but they could. They just make it legal to smack phones out of people's hands.
Right out of your hand. Well, and they said, though, it was only like 12%. I guess I thought the number would be higher.
But 12% is a lot. So imagine just being on the street with 100 people and you're walking in a direction and 12 of those people are not looking. They're just looking at their phone.
I still think I was expecting higher.
You were expecting, yeah.
I was expecting like it's 80%, like some real big number.
I could see that. I don't know. But I'll tell you this.
You can't if you're looking at your phone, so...
Not true. I'm going to watch a news report of it on my phone
while
I'm walking. I don't need to look up. My phone can show me everything I need.
So that's not in our area, but you never know.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.